Hey everyone, today we're going to do some exploring and experimenting with mood boards. First, I just want to say thank you to my Patreon members for helping me choose some of the topics covered in this video. Now, if you haven't heard of Midjourney's new mood board feature, a mood board is a new way to give Midjourney style inspiration for your prompts. You can add images from your gallery, links, or upload external images. Then click Copy Code to add the mood board to your prompt, submit your prompt, and head over to the Create page to see your results. That long code will get converted to a shorter alphanumeric code that you can use in future prompts. Last month, I shared the basics of mood boards in this video. Today, we're going a bit deeper. The most common question that I've seen is, how are mood boards different from style references? Both mood boards and style references affect the style aesthetics that Midjourney applies to your results. But these two features work differently, and which one you want to use is going to come down to your own objectives and personal preferences. More on that later. First, let's do a little experiment. Here I have an illustrated image of a forest king that will test as a style reference and as a mood board. So these are the two prompts that I'm going to run. Here is the image URL of the forest king used as a style reference, and in this prompt I have the single image mood board profile code. To make this a fair comparison, I'm also using the same seed number in both prompts. This helps us see exactly how these features differ. If you want to learn more about the seed parameter, I'll leave some resources down below. Okay, so here are the results. Pretty similar, right? The colors are slightly softer in the mood board results, but overall the results from using our forest king as a single image mood board versus as a style reference are not that different. But what happens if we add more images to the mood board? I added 5 more illustration style images to the mood board, which now looks like this. And I ran those same cat prompts, but this time I have a new mood board code, and instead of 1 image URL as an SREF, I have 6. And here are the results. This is really where mood boards become more distinctive from style references. When the 6 images are used as style references, the aesthetics of all 6 images are blended together to create one homogeneous style that is then applied to the results. Right, the styles of all 4 of these images are pretty similar. This also happens if you're using SREF code numbers instead of image URLs. The mood board results, on the other hand, are more diverse in comparison. They are not all the exact same style, but they still form a cohesive looking image grid. You can tell that each image takes inspiration from the mood board and that the results cater to both these styles and the diversity of those styles present in the mood board. So all of this is just my assessment from my own experience and lots of prompt testing. I'd love to hear your experiences, so feel free to comment down below. But maybe you're thinking, I still don't see it. Let's look at one more example. This board is filled with cats of all different color palettes and styles, ranging from drawings and cartoon illustrations to photographic images. When I use these 9 images as style references, the aesthetics get blended together like this. But when used as a mood board, the results are more diverse. Generally, you're going to see a bigger difference between SREF results and mood board results when the input images are more diverse. And if you're wondering if a mood board full of cats will place cats into every image, the answer was generally no. I tried several different prompts with this mood board, and every once in a while you might have a cat or cat ears show up in the image, but it was pretty infrequent. Now, you don't have to create a mood board with a ton of style diversity like I did with the cat board. For example, you could just add images that were all created with your favorite SREF code. I created this mood board from images that use the SREF that I named Forgotten Film. It's one of my favorites. Here are some side-by-side results. On the left, I used the SREF code, and on the right, I used the mood board. The styles are similar, but the results between the two are different, and I'm still using a same seed number here. These differences can become more apparent depending on what you're prompting for. When I use this SREF to create astronaut images, they all have this lovely dark shade of blue. But with the mood board results, the color grading is a bit different across all 4 images. And this comes down to the individual images that I selected to add to the mood board. Both of these results are great, so it's really up to your personal preference in this case. But this is an example of how you can get more mileage out of your favorite SREF codes. So to recap this section, style references are your go-to when you want to maintain a very specific look, and you either have an SREF code or a small number of reference images. Remember, if you have multiple style references, they will all get blended together to create a new unified style. Mood boards allow for more flexibility. While a single image mood board will give results similar to using that one image as a style reference, the real magic happens as you add more images. Instead of blending everything together, mood boards use your reference images as inspiration and cater to the style and composition diversity, while creating results that still feel cohesive and connected. When in doubt, try both and see which one you like better. Later, we'll get into some more examples of different ways that you can use mood boards, but before we get into that, let's talk about some of the other parameters that mood boards can interact with. First is Stylize. At its basic level, Stylize controls the strength of the default Midjourney aesthetic. But when we include a mood board or a personalization profile in our prompt, Stylize will control that instead. Here I'm using a mood board that I named Botanical Space. In this portrait of a character, watch how this character changes as I increase the strength of the mood board. When you're using Stylize with mood boards, you're going to see the biggest changes for values between 0 and 100. If you only want the mood board to have a little influence on the results, try a value of 25. For higher strength, anything above 100 will work. The scale for Stylize has never felt linear to me, and with mood boards specifically, I haven't seen a huge difference between using Stylize 100 and 1000. Next, let's talk about using mood boards with personalization profiles. Now, I really like using my personalization profiles with SREF codes because I get images that are more customized to my personal aesthetic tastes. Take this for example. I ran this prompt 3 different ways. Once with just an SREF code, once with just my global personalization, and then again, but with both the SREF code and my personalization. In the middle, you can see how the SREF code and my personalization combine to create a new image grid. The results are brighter compared to just using the SREF code, the color tones changed, and even the positions and characteristics of the rabbits are a little different. So when I started combining mood boards with personalization profiles, I expected similar behavior. But that's not what I got. Here I have a futuristic cyberpunk themed mood board. These are my results with just the mood board, and this is what it looks like if I only use my global personalization. But when I use the two together, I get this. Looks pretty similar to just using the mood board, right? I tried using fewer images in the mood board, and again, the combined result was similar to just using the mood board. I also played around with different stylized values. I tried a different personalization profile, adding 2 personalization profiles, but the conclusion was the same. The effect of using my personalization with a mood board profile is minimal. It's not 0, but it's still quite small. I'm not sure if this behavior is intended or if it will change in the future. Unfortunately, we can't assign weights in this prompt scenario to try to force Midjourney to lean more heavily into my personalization profile, but that will be something to test in the future if weights are enabled. If this mood board personalization profile combo is something that you have tested, please let me know down in the comments if you've had a similar or different experience. Midjourney just enabled blending of mood boards, so now we can use more than one mood board in a single prompt. This actually works pretty well. Here's what happens when I blend the cyberpunk mood board with the botanical bouncer mood board that I used towards the beginning of the video. Each mood board you add to the prompt will contribute equally to the results. In the future, we may be able to adjust the weights of each mood board with this notation. We can also blend mood boards with SREF codes. Here's an example using the cyberpunk mood board on the left. On the right, I ran the same prompt but used the Lemon Bazaar SREF code instead. And in the middle is the blended result when I use both the mood board and the SREF code in the same prompt. All right, let's go through some more ways to use mood boards. Here I have a mood board with nostalgic, photorealistic images inspired by autochrome photography and a few of the results. Midjourney has some knowledge gaps when it comes to different film and art styles, and sometimes it can take some major prompt crafting to get images in the style that you want. So this is a great use case for creating a mood board because you can add images that represent your desired aesthetic and its diversity. You could also use some of these images as style references instead, but a mood board is going to do a better job at capturing the diversity across your reference images. Next, I created a mood board using images that I've liked from the Explore page. To do this, I opened 2 separate browser windows, one with a new mood board and the other with my liked images. And then I just dragged and dropped each image over to the mood board. I added 86 images to mine, and because my liked images are pretty diverse, so are my results. A mood board is also a great way to define a color palette for your results. At first, I just tried adding solid color images to see what would happen, but it really picks up on the minimalism, and that wasn't quite the vibe I was going for. So instead, I created some images that fit the color palette. I didn't really care too much about whether the images were photographic or illustrative, but I used the mood board with a few different prompts, and it actually worked pretty well at utilizing that color palette. Now, if you've been using Midjourney for a while, you know that each new model comes with its own default visual aesthetics. And the V3 model really stands out for its creativity and otherworldly qualities. I chose some of my favorite V3 images and added them to a mood board. It's really fun to see what V6 does with a mood board filled with V3 images. And if you've never tried the V3 model, I really recommend it. Just include --V3 in your prompts. Similarly, if you've used the style tuner that's available with Midjourney's V5 model and you have a specific style code that you really like, add some images that you've created with that style code to a new mood board to bring that style into V6. And if you want some V5 style codes to try out, I have a free guide that I'll link below. If there's a drawing style that you like that is difficult to get Midjourney to create, or you want Midjourney to take inspiration from some of your own art, add some reference images to a mood board. I made this ink sketch drawing inspired mood board. And in this example, because all of the input images for the mood board are black and white, you don't really need to include the phrase black and white in your prompt. It's still helpful, but not as necessary in this case. And try something weird. This is my Doppler effect inspired mood board that just creates these super interesting images with abstract elements. Here, I decreased the Stylize value to lower the intensity of the mood board and used it with a character reference. So that's just a few ways you can use mood boards. You can also use mood boards with Midjourney's G6 model and likely the upcoming V7 model. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite use case for mood boards has been so far. I hope you found this video helpful and informative and that the difference between mood boards and style references is a bit clearer. If you did find it helpful, please consider giving it a like, subscribing, and maybe even joining the Patreon community where I share monthly prompt collections and Midjourney guides. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you the next one.